Today is an exciting day. Last night I got my new crawler in, and today we're going to reveal and unbox the crawler. If you missed my first video, you saw where I was debating between two crawlers, the Danchee Ridgerock and the ECX Temper. Both had their highs and lows on parts availability, motor size, physical size, and different features. So without further delay, let me reveal the crawler I decided to go with. Now I have a couple trash bags over this because the box that it shipped in was actually the box that you would see on the store shelves. So in transit it did get a little crushed, so I'm going to have to take a look at it, make sure the contents are intact. So the crawler I decided to go with is the Danchee Ridgerock. So let's open the box and let's get started. As you can see, this is the side that basically took the brunt of the force. Wasn't the best idea to ship it in the box. It was supposed to come in, but they should have double boxed this. But let me see. Oh, okay, there goes the radio. Okay, so I have the manual. Let's see, something fell in the book. Some kind of plastic strap. The battery, which I was kind of worried had fallen out, and the radio that dropped on the ground just a moment ago. Let me get this out the way and grab that radio. Oh, okay, the radio. Hey, it doesn't feel that bad in the hand. Wheels a little plasticky. Feels pretty good. There is it seems a little bit wide for my hand here, but otherwise it should work. Got everything it has. Let me see if it has batteries in it. No batteries. It takes 3 AA's. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. I don't see any kind of jack for a LiPo or anything, so I'll have to get some AA's, and I want to throw that battery on the charger now. The charger I'm using to charge the battery is an iCharger. It's a 106B+. It does most of the lithium batteries, as well as NiCad, nickel metals, and of course lead. Going over the truck itself, I gotta remind you this is a used vehicle. It seems like we're missing a couple of the body pins, missing 2 body pins. And let me take this top off for you. Pretty simple. I'm sure you've watched all the videos. I just want to go over, make sure everything, get the battery charged up and make sure everything is functioning properly. If I turn it over, you can see there's a little bit of scuffing on the bottom of the axle housings here. So it has seen very little use. The tires are still pretty good. I'm probably going to be changing this out. That's the thing about crawlers. You get them, and then all of a sudden you get the upgrade-itis and want to change out certain things. Things I'm looking at here is obviously the stock servos are not that great. The motors, I can run those for a while. Like I said, I'm going to change out the tires here. They do seem a little stiff. They are new. They probably need to be broken in though. But I do have another set of tires left over for my AX10. I think they're the Panther Cougar tires. So I'm going to be putting those on this rig. Just taking these off from the get-go. It doesn't look that bad. I'm just going to wait for that battery to charge up and to make sure everything functions. The steering works. the gears work, make sure it's in good shape. If anything needs replaced, oh, the parts are relatively cheap. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of upgrades for this, so I'll have to look into maybe, like I said, doing some upgrades, like the front linkages. They're plastic, so they do have a lot of flex in them. If you're a fan of RC crawlers, you've probably been on rccrawler.com. So there is a web page or a thread dedicated to this particular crawler. There are some upgrades I saw that I'm going to do to this, mainly lowering the center of gravity so it sits a little more lower for better crawling. Obviously, I'm going to replace the plugs here and maybe put a 2 or 3 cell LiPo. If I put a 3 cell, I'll probably have to change the speed controller. So I didn't buy this to upgrade. I say that, but I will. I just bought it to have more fun than to put a bunch of money in. That was the whole purpose, of just getting it running and to spend time with my daughter. But I know I will change stuff because that's the nature of the hobby and who I am. Here's my AX10 Scorpion that's been modified compared to the Danchee Ridgerock. The center of gravity is a little bit higher, but the Ridgerock is a little bit lighter. I may have to add some weight, as other people have experienced, to get a better crawling performance. So there is some room for improvement. The tires are just a little bit bigger on the Danchee. The tires I have here are the Hot Body Rovers, the original ones. So just give you a size comparison between the two. Okay, we got our battery charged up. It took about 765 milliamps to fully charge it. We have some regular AA's in the remote itself. I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to attempt to turn this on. I may have to take it off the stand. Bear with me. Okay, I hear a humming. That's the servos. That's great. And I'm going to give this a little bit of throttle, see if this works. Okay, that's good. Wow, look at that. I'm giving it a little bit of throttle. That may or may not be a problem. Front steering works. That is the front now. I'm going to switch modes. Oops. Now it's 4-wheel. That works well. Okay, good. And then I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to do a crab. Alright, that's doing good. And lastly, the rear only. So the steering seems to be working good. I'm going to hold this down for a moment to see so it won't fly off. Sorry about the light there. The wheel's a little wobbly. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. But yeah, I think that the nut's loose. I have to go through and tighten everything up, but it seems to be working. Give you a moment. I'll go through everything, tighten it up, and maybe we'll go out and do a little bit of crawling. I have a little bit of rocks in my backyard, but let's tighten the truck up first. Sorry about that, folks. I just had to stop crawling. This crawler feels totally different than my other crawler, and I guess I have to get used to it. Some of the things I noticed about the crawler, it's very lightweight. The steering is a little weak. I'm comparing this to my my high-tech servo, which is the 7955 titanium gear. So I'm a little bit spoiled with the steering department. I also have to remember this is a ready-to-run vehicle, so more than likely I'm going to upgrade the steering servo and the linkages. I did notice the linkages in the rear deflecting a little bit, even though it wasn't in rear wheel steering. When I went over stuff, the front would steer, the rear would kind of not hold its center and follow some of the rocks. I did make some changes already. I have a set of tires I have laying around, and I put those on. Coincidentally, the rings that are on this Ridgerock are the same 6-hole pattern as the original Scorpion AX10. So I changed out the tires, and I have rings that I made for my Scorpion. The front rings are 75 grams, and the rear rings are 71 grams. I put those on to help give it a little more weight to the wheels, to help them climb better. Also, I noticed with the radio, when you're driving, it's kind of hard to touch the steering mode selection on the back of the radio. Either I have to try to stretch and use my thumb, or I have to take my hand off the steering wheel and change modes. So I am going to make some changes to the steering and the linkage, and I'll see what I can do with the getting better with changing the modes on the radio itself. One thing I noticed when changing out the tires, that the pin holding the hex on has a lot of play in it, so it seems like the pin is actually undersized for the hole that it's going through. So I'm going to have to find a replacement for those. Overall, I think it's going to be a good crawler. Like I said, there are a few things I need to address. The weak servo, the servo saver needs to go, and the plastic links. I think that's really holding it back. And also, some people like a little more wheel speed to, sometimes it helps get over certain situations. But sometimes the speed can overcome the lack of torque. Not saying this doesn't have torque, but it's not as strong as a 540 motor. So thanks for watching, and maybe see you again soon, and maybe you'll see this crawler with some more modifications. So stay tuned and see what comes up.